All right, welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm Rich Walsh. If you need a roof, make sure you call Ireland Contracting. When I need a roof on my house, that's who I'm going to call, 1-800-NEW-ROOF. They're the best in the business. But, you know, they don't do just roofs. They do everything, windows, gutters, sidings, anything you need. They're the #1 contractor in the city of Pittsburgh. They specialize in exterior, and they're an exterior expert. So give them a call, anything you need. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a sun porch. They're the people I'm going to call. Ireland Contracting, 1-800-NEW-ROOF. You can give me a call right now on the Borders and Borders hotline, 412-575-2600. We got a jam-packed phone line, and we're going to go out to Ron in Bethel Park to start things off. What's up, Ron?
Richie, long-time watcher of the show.
Thanks.
And I just wanted to you touched about some of the stuff that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out the same thing about why they want to leave McRae in there. And some of the announcers were saying that he's out there for the duration. I'm thinking, you're trying to win as many games as possible.
Yeah.
You're going to leave this guy in there.
You got to remember the announcers are paid by the Pirates too. So.
Well, right. I
yeah.
understand that. But I mean, but as far as the managerial thing, I mean, to leave him out there, you're trying to win some games.
Yeah.
Trying to get ahead, and the same thing with playing the players at different positions, like Cervelli at first. Granted, he did a nice job at first, but to keep moving players around to see where you're going to fit, I'm not so sure that that's even a good idea.
Well, you know what, Ron? I'd actually rather see Cervelli at first base than Jose Osuna or Sean Rodriguez, for that matter. I mean, if they want Diaz, at least Diaz has a bat, Cervelli has a bat, Osuna's batting 1-something, Rodriguez is batting 1-something. You can't have guys like that, and especially now that Rodriguez is a defensive liability. So until Josh Bell gets healthy, that's the problem right now. Josh Bell's not healthy. Corey Dickerson just came back, and you saw what they did without Corey Dickerson. This wasn't a really good homestand. They split with the Mets. They split with the Cubs, which, you know, you'll take that, but then you lose 2 out of 3 to the Cardinals in the game that Dickerson came back that they lost. But, you need to get healthy, but also if you're really serious, now you're going to have to, you know, look through that waiver wire, try to trade for guys here that can maybe add some depth, the depth that you need, not the Sean Rodriguez depth or the Jose Osuna depth right now. Yeah. I mean, I'd probably send Osuna back down to the minors and try to bring someone else up here because he's not really doing you any good. I mean, he's batting 190, although he did have a hit today and he was 1 for 3, but he's not your guy as a backup at first base. So they got some issues with depth now. We've seen that. They've had some issues with starting pitching and relief in the bullpen. They addressed some of that with 2 good guys that they brought in. I love those trades. I like the moves. But now you might need some depth is what I think. That's what you're going to have to make a move. But I think really, I'm going to be completely honest. I don't think that they're a playoff contender right now. Maybe a few days ago I was leaning. I was still leaning that way, but I was more optimistic that they had a shot, an outside shot, but the odds were still against them. But right now, you got 7 teams that you're fighting with, and you're 5 games out, and you have to jump all these teams. I don't think it's possible. But the only way it is possible is you got to play these teams and beat these teams, and that's their schedule coming up. 18 of 25 are on the road, and they're playing the Rockies. They're playing San Francisco. They got St. Louis again. They got Atlanta. They got the Cubs. They got all these teams coming up that they're trying to catch. So if they're going to do it, they got to win all these series. And in this series, I was really disappointed. I didn't like what I saw out there with the lineup, with the leaving the McRae in the game, and today batting Jordan Luplow in a pitch hit situation. I think there's better options, but you know, especially with runners on, they maybe at the time that they who knows? They just don't have any depth. So I appreciate the call. Let's go out to Joe out in Penn Hills. What's up, Joe? How you doing?
Hey, Richie. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for calling.
Good. You know, I talked to you many times. I'm 74, going on 75 real quick here. And
yeah, and I'm a Penn Hills guy too. I always like when you call, Joe.
Yeah, and so I've seen a lot of baseball, and I'm a real, you know, avid fan of our Pirates. But I've been saying this a long time, which you've been talking about tonight, and the fans calling in. I don't like the way Hurdle does a lot of things, but people always say, yeah, okay. Well, Wednesday night, was what really taught me off. You know, we got beat 9-2, but that wasn't the point. We were 5 games out. We beat them Tuesday, and there's all we could win. Now, Kingman got crushed, but let's just say he pitched a good game. Well, when you have Asuda, what's his name, Luplow?
Oh, Luplow, yeah, batting leadoff that game.
And Rodriguez in there. I don't see the urgency in Hurdle. I mean, where's his mind? I don't want that left-right. You just put guys in there. Anybody can hit. It's a good player. And so they lost 9-2, but I turned it off, told my wife, I'm going to bed. They'll probably get shut out, and they got 2 runs. But that kind of really knocked me back, and I'm just kind of getting scores now, and I'm kind of running out of gas this year, Richie.
Well, you know what, Joe? I think that game could have gone – it could have been different. You know, I think – look, it was 9-2 in the end, but things – they make a couple errors in the first. Kingham threw the ball away. I thought they lost it in the first inning there. But, yeah, their lineup did not help going into that game. What does that say to the players when you're starting Luplow, Rodriguez, and Osuna?
They should all be in the minors. I don't know who to bring up. But because them 2 trades were nice, but they got to get some bench strength now.
Well, David Freese is that guy. David Freese is that guy. Today he couldn't play. He was unavailable.
Yeah, I know. Well, anyway, thanks for letting me vent always, and go. Let's just keep trying.
All right, let's go out to Clint in Altoona. What's up, Clint?
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for taking my call.
Good, thanks.
Yeah, first I want to ask you a couple questions here. Cardinals, they amaze me every year. They're in the running. I don't know what the deal was with firing Matheny last month. I mean, just because they were a lot out of it, like the Pirates, sort of 500 club, but. They contend every year. I think they're just a better team than the Pirates are, and they have been.
Better organization. I mean, top to bottom. They're like the Steelers. I've been to St. Louis a bunch of times. I've been there during all the seasons. They're like the Steelers of St. Louis. That's the team. That's the team everyone gets behind. They don't play second fiddle to anyone in that city.
That very impressed me. I mean, but and the thing about I know I agree 100% when you talk about McRae there, and wasn't Mazeroskis available that night? Didn't they bring him up?
Yeah, he came in and he came in after McRae.
Oh, okay.
He came in after McRae. Yeah. I know they want to save arms, and now's not the time to save arms, especially against the Cardinals. That game was tied up 4-4. That was an opportunity to maybe win the game there. And you throw him out there in a situation like that, then he walks a couple batters, and then. What do? You keep him in the game. I mean, Sarich comes out there. No one's warming up. I just think it's a bad look. I think those are bad decisions. But I feel like no sense of urgency. That's what I feel like sometimes.
The trades were nice for the pitchers, but is it like a situation where there was nobody available or the Pirates were, sort of staying pat where they were? Was there anybody available, like as far as offensive players or other bats?
You know what? I really don't know. I know that they weren't targeting any of those. I mean, I think they got the 2 guys that they were targeting. They were in the mix of a couple Baltimore relievers and maybe a starter, but I didn't hear of any bats. I mean, that's what you have David. That's what you have David Freese for, and you hope that Jose Osuna turns into that, or you thought maybe Diaz is a guy that's coming off the bench. Guys like that, Adam Frazier. When you're starting Adam Frazier, then that takes away from a bench bat. And when Diaz is in the lineup and Cervelli's in the lineup, that's taken away from a bat on the bench. And that was the problem with the Pirates today. No depth. I mean, they're down 2-1. I don't know why they continue to throw to Matt Carpenter. I would just walk the guy. I mean, he's hitting out of his mind. Another home run today, and Trevor Williams, he went he had a 17-game inning scoreless streak, and then 4 more today. So I think not a bad outing for him, but the Pirates didn't give him any run support. All right, we got to take a break. Back with more of your phone calls and some of your tweets coming up next. Stay right there.